Fuck you, Amy Klobuchar. What do you drink? That was the one that really.
That was. Oh my God.
Let's play this clip, this Trump thing first, and then you can, because before we get among our several themes tonight, the main thing is going to be what would the Democratic Party look like if it actually wanted to win, which I definitely want your thoughts on. But first, we'll tee off on this Kavanaugh situation. This is Donald Trump at the. Yeah, I mean, this
ceremonial swearing.
This literally is, yeah. And I just want to say, actually, in keeping with tonight's theme of like maybe, well, not the real enemy, but the near enemy and the facilitator of all of this, whether we're talking about Enrique Cardozo in Brazil, Brett Kavanaugh, okay, serious, credible accusations. We already know ultra far right, extreme ideological justice. There's multiple complaints about him that have been forwarded to John Roberts, and he tantrumed and lied all over the place at the committee. We know all this. And then Donald Trump, we know, is Donald Trump. There's a guy standing here. I don't know if he's in frame, but I'm sure he was at this ceremony, named Anthony Kennedy, who, people like Andrew Sullivan are still writing, if only the right could be like Anthony Kennedy, who literally, in addition to his own voting record of scrapping voting rights, destroying labor unions, unchaining a whole other funnel of ways of getting dark money into politics, set all this up to happen by retiring. Yeah. And some reports I've heard specifically wanted Brett Kavanaugh as his replacement.
Yep.
So just bear that in mind as you think of, spare some contempt for Anthony Kennedy here in one of the most contemptible frames in human existence we're about to see.
I would like to begin tonight's proceeding differently than perhaps any other event of such magnitude. On behalf of our nation, I want to apologize to Brett and the entire Kavanaugh family for the terrible pain and suffering you have been forced to endure. Those who step forward to serve our country deserve a fair and dignified evaluation.
Yeah,
not a campaign of political and personal destruction based on lies and deception. What happened to the Kavanaugh family violates every notion of fairness, decency, and due process. Our country, a man or a woman, must always be presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty. And with that, I must state that you, sir, under historic scrutiny, were proven innocent. Thank you.
Jesus Christ. All right, Alex, go ahead.
I had not watched that yet. I read the story.
Sorry.
I read the quote, but I had been avoiding watching it. And
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. So the Kennedy thing, I mean, yeah, he picked this guy. I mean, I think Trump picked him partly because of the executives are immune to prosecution angle. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Kennedy.
It's like when you're an executive, it's like beach week for life.
Yeah, exactly. It's beach term.
How do you say beach week in Latin?
Beachia studio persidum, which I learned at Yale while I was fucking studying hard without any help getting in there from anyone. Fuck.
But it's I don't know. It's just like what strikes me is just the going through the motionsness of the like having to proclaim these things that are patently false.
Right.
And they just do it like just out of dominance politics, not because anyone believes it. Like they don't believe it, we don't believe it, he doesn't believe it. It's just pure like you can't do anything about it, so I'm just gonna say this shit.
Right.
But I bet the underlying theme of the entire thing was that like you will not ever hold us accountable for anything. That's the message. It's like it's not going to happen. You're not going to hold us accountable. Like we're just going to win. You're not going to hold us accountable.
Yeah. I mean, and this is actually, I'm going to get to this a little bit earlier because we can bridge this also when we get to this Mitch McConnell clip in a minute, but I do want to read this. Usually we take Discord questions in the, yeah, I think that's actually a fair point, Matt. Maybe we do the Hillary convo instead of McConnell. But I want to get to this question. Usually we do Discord questions in the post game, but this one came up, and I think it fits into what you're saying perfectly. And this is from Transylvania Express.